Hello and welcome to day 91 of our chronological Bible in a year reading. Today we have Judges 6 and 7. Judges 6. And the children of Israel did evil in the eyes of Yahuwah, and Yahuwah gave them into the hand of Midian for 7 years. And the hand of Midian was strong against Israel. And before the faces of the Midianites, the children of Israel made for themselves the refuges which are in the mountains, in the caves, and the strongholds. And it came to be, whenever Israel had sown, that Midian would come up, and Amalek and the people of the east would come up against them, and encamp against them, and destroy the increase of the land as far as Azah, and leave no food in Israel, neither sheep, nor ox, nor donkey. For they came up with their livestock in their tents, coming in as numerous as locusts, and they and their camels were without number, and they came into the land to destroy it. Thus Israel was brought very low because of Midian, and the children of Israel cried out to Yahuwah. And it came to be, when the children of Israel cried out to Yahuwah because of Midian, that Yahuwah sent a Nabi, which is a prophet, to the children of Israel, who said to them, Thus said Yahuwah Elohim of Israel, I have brought you up from Mitzrayim, and I brought you out of the house of bondage. And I delivered you out of the hand of the Mitzrites, and out of the hand of all your oppressors, and drove them out before you, and gave you their land. And I said to you, I am Yahuwah your Elohim. Do not fear the mighty ones of the Amorites, in whose land you dwell. And you have not obeyed my voice. And the messenger of Yahuwah came and sat under the terebinth tree which was in Ophrah, which belonged to Joash the Abiezrite, while his son Gideon threshed wheat in the winepress to hide it from the eyes of the Midianites. And the messenger of Yahuwah appeared to him and said to him, Yahuwah is with you, you mighty brave one. And Gideon said to him, O my master, if Yahuwah is with us, why has all this come upon us? And where are all his wonders which our fathers related to us, saying, Did not Yahuwah bring us up from Mitzrayim, which is again Egypt? But now Yahuwah has left us and given us into the hands of Midian. And Yahuwah turned to him and said, Go in this strength of yours, and you shall save Israel from the hand of the Midianites. Have I not sent you? And he said to him, O Yahuwah, with what do I save Israel? See, my clan is the weakest in Manasseh, and I am the least in my father's house. And Yahuwah said to him, Because I am with you, you shall smite the Midianites as one man. And he said to him, Please, if I have found favor in your eyes, then show me a sign that it is you who are speaking with me. Please do not move away from here until I come to you and bring out my offering and put it before you. And he said, I shall stay until you return. And Gideon went in and prepared a young goat and unleavened bread from an ephah of flour. The meat he put in a basket, and he put the broth in a pot. And he brought them out to him under the terebinth tree and presented it. And the messenger of Elohim said to him, Take the meat and the unleavened bread, and lay them on this rock, and pour out the broth. And he did so. And the messenger of Yahuwah put forth the end of the staff that was in his hand, and touched the meat and the unleavened bread. And fire went up out of the rock, and consumed the meat and the unleavened bread. And the messenger of Yahuwah went from his sight. And when Gideon saw that he was a messenger of Yahuwah, Gideon said, O Adonai Yahuwah, for I have seen a messenger of Yahuwah face to face. And Yahuwah said to him, Peace be with you, do not fear, you do not die. And Gideon built an altar there to Yahuwah and called it Yahuwah Shalom. To this day it is still in Ophrah of the Abiezrites. And the same night it came to be that Yahuwah said to him, Take the young bull of your father and the second bull of 7 years old, and you shall throw down the altar of Baal that your father has, and cut down the Asherah that is beside it. And you shall build an altar to Yahuwah your Elohim on top of this rock in an orderly way, and shall take the second bull and offer a burnt offering with the wood of the image which you cut down. And Gideon took 10 men from among his servants, and did as Yahuwah had said to him. And it came to be, because he feared his father's household and the men of the city too much to do it by day, that he did it by night. And the men of the city arose early in the morning, and saw the altar of Baal was broken down, and the Asherah that was beside it had been cut down, and the second bull was being offered on the altar which was built. And they said to each other, Who has done this deed? And when they had inquired and asked, they said, Gideon, son of Joash, has done this deed. And the men of the city said to Joash, "Bring out your son, so that he dies, for he has broken down the altar of Baal, and because he has cut down the Asherah that was beside it." And Joash said to all who stood against him, would you plead for Baal? Would you save him? Let the one who would plead for him be put to death by morning. If he is a mighty one, let him plead for himself, because his altar has been broken down." So that day he called him Jerubbaal, saying, "Let Baal plead against him, because he has broken down his altar." Now all Midian and Amalek and the people of the east were gathered together, and they passed over and encamped in the valley of Yizreel. Then the Ruah of Yahuwah, which means the Spirit of Yahuwah, came upon Gideon, and he blew the ram's horn, and the Abiezrites gathered behind him. And he sent messengers throughout all Manasseh, who also gathered behind him. And he sent messengers to Asher, to Zebulun, and to Naphtali, and they came up to meet them. And Gideon said to Elohim, "If you are saving Israel by my hand, as you have said, see, I am placing a fleece of wool on the threshing floor. If there is dew only on the fleece, and it is dry on all the ground, then I shall know that you are saving Israel by my hand, as you have said." And it was so. And he rose early the next morning, and pressed the fleece, and wrung dew out of the fleece to fill a bowl with water. And Gideon said to Elohim, "Do not be displeased with me, and let me speak only this time. Please let me try only this time with the fleece. Please let it be dry only on the fleece, and let there be dew on all the ground." And Elohim did so that night, and it was dry on the fleece only, but there was dew on all the ground. What? Chapter 7. And Jerubbaal, that is Gideon, and all the people who were with him, rose up early and encamped by Ain Harod, so that the camp of Midian was on the north side of them by the hill of Moreh in the valley. And Yahuwah said to Gideon, "The people who are with you are too many for me to give Midian into their hands, lest Israel boast against me, saying, 'My own hand has saved me.' And now proclaim in the hearing of the people, saying, 'Whoever is afraid and trembling, let him turn back and leave Mount Gilead.' And 22,000 of the people turned back, while 10,000 remained. And Yahuwah said to Gideon, 'The people are still too many. Bring them down to the water, and let me prove them for you there. And it shall be that of whom I say to you, this one goes with you, let him go with you. And of whomever I say to you, this one does not go with you, let him not go.' So he brought the people down to the water, and Yahuwah said to Gideon, 'Everyone who laps the water with his tongue, as a dog laps, separate him from everyone who bows down on his knees to drink.' And the number of those who lapped, putting their hand to their mouth, was 300 men, and all the rest of the people bowed down on their knees to drink water. And Yahuwah said to Gideon, 'By the 300 men who have lapped I save you, and shall give Midian into your hand. Let all the other people go, each to his place.' And the people took food and their ram's horns in their hands, and he sent away all the rest of Israel, each to his tent, but kept those 300 men. Now the camp of Midian was below him in the valley. And it came to be on that night that Yahuwah said to him, 'Arise, go down against the camp, for I have given it into your hand. But if you are afraid to go down, you and Purah your servant, to the camp. And you shall hear what they say, and after that let your hands be strengthened, and you shall go down against the camp.' So he went down with Purah his servant to the edge of the armed men who were in the camp. And Midian and Amalek and all the people of the east were lying in the valley, as many as locusts, and their camels were as numerous as the sand by the seashore. And Gideon came, and see, a man was relating a dream to his companion, and said, 'See, I had a dream, and see, a loaf of barley bread tumbled into the camp of Midian, and it came to a tent, and smote it so that it fell and overturned, and the tent fell down.' And his companion answered and said, 'This is none else than the sword of Gideon, son of Joash, a man of Israel. Elohim has given Midian and all the camp into his hand.' And it came to be, when Gideon heard this dream related and its interpretation, that he bowed himself down, and he returned to the camp of Israel and said, 'Arise, for Yahuwah has given the camp of Midian into your hand.' And he divided the 300 men into 3 companies, and he put a ram's horn into the hands of all of them, with empty jars and torches inside the jars. And he said to them, 'Watch me and do likewise, and see, when I come to the edge of the camp, do as I do. And I shall blow the ram's horn, I and all those with me, then you shall also blow the ram's horns round about all the camp, and say, For Yahuwah and for Gideon.' And Gideon and the 100 men who were with him came to the edge of the camp at the beginning of the middle watch, as they had but newly posted the watch. And they blew the ram's horns and broke the jars that were in their hands. And the 3 companies blew the ram's horns and broke the jars and held the torches in their left hands and the ram's horns in their right hands for blowing. And they cried, "For Yahuwah and for Gideon." And each stood in his place round about the camp. And all the army ran and cried out and fled. And the 300 blew the ram's horns, and Yahuwah put the sword of each one against the other throughout all the camp. And the army fled to Beth Shittah toward Sererah, as far as the border of Abel Meholah by Tabbath. And the men of Yisrael were called from Naphtali and from Asher and from all Manasseh and pursued Midian. Then Gideon sent messengers throughout all the mountains of Ephraim, saying, "Come down to meet Midian and capture them from the watering places as far as Beth Berah and the Yarden." So all the men of Ephraim were called and captured the watering places as far as Beth Berah and the Yarden. And they captured 2 princes of Midian, Oreb and Zeeb, and slew Oreb at the rock of Oreb, and Zeeb they slew at the winepress of Zeeb while they pursued Midian. And they brought the heads of Oreb and Zeeb to Gideon beyond the Yarden. Excuse me again. But that concludes our reading today. So thanks for joining us. Hope you're reading along. And peace and blessings and love to you. See you in the next one.